Welcome to Young Critics, where we review things and give updates on real life news. Today we will talk about gun violence, and we will give you a brief background on our community. See our rage against gun violence.
Today, our special guest will be Mr. C, aka Mr. Urbanwallstreet.
You already know. It's good, brothers. It's a blessing to be a part of your production. It's some great topics, so I'm definitely interested in hearing what you have to say and talk about.
Okay. Now, first, we'll give you some information. Now, did you know that people have the right to bear arms due to the Second Amendment, which states that U.S. citizens have the right to bear arms?
Do you believe people should use guns as self-defense?
I definitely believe, guns should be used, for self-defense in certain regards. I don't think everybody should just have a gun. I personally think you should be able to defend yourself with your hands. So I don't think, we should just be able to buy a gun, and the moment something is a problem, you're shooting somebody with it. No, I just don't get down with that.
Okay. Do you believe that it should be easy to purchase guns?
No. Definitely shouldn't be easy to purchase gun, and I think if you should be a reason given, like I want to buy a gun just because. No, I think there should be a valid reason. You should have a hunting license, the permit, a license, all that before, and then maybe not even that. Because for the real, think about it. What do I need a gun for? What do you need a gun for walking down the street? In some cities like London, the police don't even have guns. So, it's not always necessary. So, that amendment was there, but that amendment was created over 250 years ago or better, so.
This year in Essex County, 2017 in Essex County, it was 111 homicides. And that's, in 2016, it was more with 126 homicides. And county records list all homicides, which include fatal shootings by police officers, North Police, however, provided a total of murders, which does not include officers involved shootings.
Right. There's a lot of shootings that happen in our communities that are not police related, right?
Yeah.
Are there more people in the hood getting shot by police or by other people from the hood?
I think it's probably more people from the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, because drug issues and stuff, and yeah.
Here are some facts and figures.
Okay.
Homicides went down to 38% since 2013, and there were 358 fewer robbery victims since 2017, last year, compared to the year prior, about 62% reduction.
26%
26, sorry.
Police interactions with citizens increased 22%, while complaints about police dropped by 20%. And I want to know what you think on that.
Police interactions with citizens increased 22%, while complaints about police dropped by 20%. So when that says interactions, well, these are positive interactions, because if the police are having a positive, interaction with the community, so they're trying to, bridge those gaps, then yes, then you might see a decrease in crime or whatever the case may be. But that's really what it's up to. But since you just have them interactions, I'm gonna hope those interactions are positive, and those positive results and interactions or communications between the police and the community help lead to the community not being so hostile and taking out their frustrations on each other. I'm hopeful.
Last year, 10 homicides were related to domestic violence incidents. This year, that number was 4. 467 officers have been hired since 2014. Baraka wants the police force number to be about 1,700.
Okay.
And also, of the 516 firearms seized, 79 handguns were used in other crimes and 52 were high power. What do you think of that?
Those high power rifles, that's what you was talking about. Those assault rifles. Think about it. There are crimes being committed with us high power rifles. And who is committing these crimes? It's not like we don't have militias or armies running through the streets. So we basically have people maybe with mental issues, or definitely not secure in their mind, running around using assault rifles. Because 52 crimes with high power guns is just out of control. One is out of control. So, but it's unfortunate when we're at a point where it's guns versus lives, and people are choosing guns over people's lives, especially when it's young people. That's just crazy to me.
Okay, now time for some questions. What do you think about Trump's response in like giving teachers guns?
I just think that's definitely not a responsible idea. It's not a logical idea, and I think it would put a lot of people at risk. I don't think as a teacher who's trying to educate students, they should be responsible for thwarting off any assailants that might come with guns and weapons. I mean, they're teachers. They're not police officers. They're not trained army soldiers. They're educators, and that's what they should be in the classroom doing. That's definitely not the answer to gun laws and protecting schools by giving guns to teachers. No.
Okay. Do you believe that mental health is a key involvement in gun violence?
I definitely think people who are out here shooting up schools and churches, things that, and people randomly are mental cases, but definitely mental health is an issue that should be addressed. But I'm not going to say mental health is the reason that we have so much gun violence. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of hatred. And there's a lot of people that just think negatively about other people, and it's not a lot of tolerance. So we kind of utilize it because listen, when it happens in our communities, no one says, oh, that young kid Tyrone, he probably suffered from some mental health. Oh, he's a thug. Oh, he's a this, that, and the third. So we don't get that benefit of the mental health. It seems like the mental health is only for some individuals, but it's not applied when everybody might commit an act, a crime with a gun, in my opinion.
Okay. Do you think the NRA is right about keeping guns and fighting to keep guns rights same?
No.
The gun rights same?
No, because think about it like this. First of all, the individuals who are making all the noise right now in the NRA, they weren't around when the Second Amendment was created. So they're holding on to this amendment, this Second Amendment, that they didn't have any part in drafting. And they don't have the wherewithal to realize that in 1776 or whenever that case may be, 200 years ago, we weren't even looking at guns the same way. They didn't even have these type of guns. So you could, one-shot guns. So to have a law that in 2018, and we're living by this amendment based upon my right to have guns, when this law was drafted, they weren't even talking about these type of guns. This type of firepower didn't even exist. So you can't say that law is in place to protect me to owning my assault rifle because it wasn't even about that.
Do you think you are safe in your neighborhood with gun violence?
Man, I don't think you're safe anywhere with gun violence. I just think it's just people have to be. It's just really more respectful of one another and just be caring. But it's real out here. It's really unfortunate. But I don't walk through my neighborhood feeling unsafe. But at the same time, I do know that at any given time, anything can happen. Whether it's from somebody that looks like me, or whether it's from a police officer, or whatever the case may be. I mean, at any given time, anything can happen. You just have to be vigilant, be mindful, and just stay focused and just keep your eyes alert.
How important is this really in our community?
Well, I think what you were asking me, how important are the rallies in our communities. And the rallies are very important because people need to come together and bond together, because change won't happen individually. It has to be collectively. And in order to really make noise and get attention, you have to be a cohesive unit and united. That's why you see all the young students right now going across the country with they had the walkouts just a week or two ago. And they're making noise now because at some point in time, you're gonna have to command people to pay attention and listen. And it's much easier to command that ear and that attention when we're in mass, as opposed to when we're by ourselves.
This is our final question before we go. Do you think gun violence will be solved throughout this presidential term?
I do not. Unfortunately, I do not think that this president is concerned with gun violence. I don't think he feels that it's an issue. There's a lot of people that don't really see it as an issue until it starts crossing into their neighborhood, into their lawn. But unfortunately, I don't think that the president is really going to do what's the presidential thing in this regard. Again, it's my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I just hope the best.
This was Young Critics for this week, and our topic was gun violence, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we're out.
Bye.